got your attention, didn't I? See it? Well, that's one of the most basic things that we learned this year is attention getters. Whether or not it's a startling statistic or a rhetorical question or maybe even a quotation or an anecdote, that's what we had to use almost every single time in every one of our projects. And it's just what we use every single time. And the first thing we did was just to meet each other. And the way we did that is just by talking about ourselves. All we did was do a biographical speech about our own life. And that was pretty cool. And yeah. The next thing we did was a demonstration speech. In the demonstration speech, we learned that in Mr. Rogers' class, if you go the extra mile and do such things like bringing in a prop, you'll get a lot better grade than if you didn't. And mine personally was how to hit different pitches in baseball, but I did bad because I didn't bring in a baseball, and I learned not to do that again. And the next thing we did was music, so we're still kind of doing personal things. And even though we learned that the music that we all like may not be the same, we could understand each other, and you were able to present to people why you like this music and how it was. And the next thing we did was sonnets. Sonnets were just a 14-line little poem or song, usually about love or something else that I don't care about. And what we would do is we'd just read them off, and during that, it wasn't very good because there wasn't a lot of whole memorization and stuff. The next thing we did was our joke project, and our joke project was pretty good. Most of the jokes were funny. You had to tell 2 short ones and a longer one. But some of the jokes were kind of just, wait, what? And some of them just took so many times to get, it was unrealistic. But we did learn a lot about other people's sense of humor. So we're still kind of doing our personal things and learning about each other, which is pretty nice since there's only a couple of us and we can get to know each other really well. And the next thing we did was the lyric sync. And this is more music that we like, and we're just trying to exercise our PowerPoint abilities and learn how to use animations and other things like that, because that's what we need for the rest of the projects. And then we moved on to the favorite movie project. And unlike the favorite music project, most of us could agree that everybody else's favorite movie was pretty good. No one hated any of them, so we're still getting to know each other a bit more, and now we're seeing what we have in common, and we're like growing together as a class. And that's pretty nice, I say. And the next thing that we did was our haiku. And haikus originated as a Japanese poem in a line of 7 syllables, 5 syllables, and another 7 syllables. They're usually about nature, but ours really weren't, and I don't think ours were that great. The next thing we did was our parables. Our parables were pretty nice, I'd say, but the way we presented them was we'd tell a parable and then we'd have to explain it. And I think that was a good way to do it because that taught us a lesson. And then we did our favorite person slider, Who Am I? And some of us were really funny doing things like John Cena. Other people did our favorite athletes or personal heroes, even characters from movies, people that make fun possible, and we just liked it. And then the next thing was, our destination. And it didn't have to be a real destination. What it was maybe you could do something from a book, or a video game, or even a real place such as a non-contiguous state up in north. And then we did our dramatic reading. Our dramatic reading was where we practiced not just speaking in one tone of voice, monotone, over and over. And it was pretty nice, because now we learned how to like enunciate and flux your voice so that everybody has a good time when they listen to you. And then we did the infomercial, and during the infomercial we learned how to do different things, like what you could obtain if you used the product, or what you could be like if you used the product, and how to use these extremely bright colors and different advertising techniques to your advantage, to get someone to buy your thing, which leads us into persuasion. And persuasion is just trying to get people to agree with you. You had to go up and you had to say, this is what I want, this is what I like, and I think you should do this too, because, and then we watched a video and we learned a bunch of different techniques to figure out how to get people to agree with us, which was actually really helpful in this project. And the next thing we did was debate. We started off by debating different issues such as the legal drinking age, gun control, whether or not you could drive at a certain age, or even school uniforms. And we finished that all up by watching the movie The Great Debaters, which I now know has Denzel Washington in it. even though I didn't before. And the next thing we did was the group pantomimes. And the group pantomimes were pretty good. Some of them were extremely hard, and you had to really think to try to get people to guess what you were acting out. And because you did it with a partner, you could bounce ideas off each other and relay factors, so we still grown as a class. And the next thing we did was game day. That's everybody's favorite day. It's obviously on Friday, and what we do is we just exercise our skills in dramatic techniques by having fun playing a game, and it's extremely competitive. How we do that is we do different things like trying to explain things using only gesture. Oh,
the first project we did was on the first week of school. We were given a sheet of paper and you had to answer questions about yourself to introduce yourself to the class. And you got to learn new things about each other in the class, and the demonstration speech was the second speech. We had to make a PowerPoint and demonstrate how to make or do a specific thing. I had to do a wrist shot in hockey. The next project was the attention getters. We learned how to get the attention of your audience, and we made outlines to be more organized on our future projects in class. The next one was our favorite musician, because everyone has a favorite singer or band. We had to tell about our personal favorite artist. My favorite one was the Black Keys at the time, but it's most likely a different artist at the time you're watching this video, because it changes frequently. The next one was the sonnet, where you had to do a dramatic reading of a sonnet written by Shakespeare. You were to make an interpretation of the words in a poem to help the class realize what the words meant. The next project was joke telling. In this project, you had to memorize a joke, 3 of them, and you had to tell it to the class. The song lyric project was to interpret song lyrics to help the class understand what the words meant, because there's so many ways you can interpret a song. And the next one was the favorite movie. This project you had to gather information about your favorite movie, and you tell the class cool facts about the movie, about the director, and a bunch of other facts about it. The next one was the haiku, and you were supposed to write a haiku poem, which is a short poem, and based on a certain amount of syllables. And my haiku was about Miranda Sings. The next one was the parable project, done with a partner. You're supposed to tell a parable from the Bible based off of, similar to the play Godspell, and put a twist on it. Me and my partner Nick made a Disney twist on our sonnet. The next project was the Who Am I project. You were to find a character or a person that has lots of facts about it that the people might know, and you had to get them to guess the character. The next project was the vacation spot, and you had to find a place that's fictional or real and convince the class to maybe spend a day or 2 there and find places to go around it. The next one was the dramatic readings, and you had to, it's like a leading up to the next class, and I read a skit called Before You Punch Me. You had to memorize it and tell it in front of the class. The next one was advertising. This project was similar to the vacation spot project, but it takes it to the next level. You have to make up a product to sell and make an infomercial about it. Never mind. The next one is the persuasive speech. It's about debating the pros and cons of a specific topic, and we learned to speak more confidently in front of the class. The next one is the group pantomimes. The project is done with multiple partners. You're given a situation to act without words, and the class is supposed to guess what you and your partner were doing. And last but not least, at the end of each stressful week, you had to take a break from, you got to take a break from the projects, and you had game day. We played teams against each other, and try to get Mr. Rogers on your team, because he'll most likely win.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I got one who looks like.
All right. So you want to make sure you're practicing so that you can, your sentences last 15 seconds. So you need to practice, what you can do before, so you're not always coming to the end right before. The other thing, you guys who haven't done it yet, what I haven't seen in the first two is a really good ending yet.
Only place in this school where you can actually learn how to be an amazing actor like me. However, with today's growing passion for computers and technology, and I'd be surprised if you knew who that was, with today's growing technology, we actually practice PowerPoints in Drama Tech. We've brought PowerPoints to the stage. Metaphorically, of course, because this is not a stage. So one of the PowerPoint genres, I guess, we're doing is Pachaka chocolates. Yeah, Pachaka chocolates. Basically what Pachaka chocolates are is they are 20 slides, each with 20 seconds. Get it to 20. And then, wait, I need something for by there. Okay, so it's 20 by 20. So what are Pachaka chocolate, what do those have to do with Drama Tech? Well, here at Drama Tech, we do a lot of fun things like that. For example, one of the projects we did, it was song lyrics, and I even made a little example for you right now. It should be playing any second now. Okay, great. Well, you can't have words in Pachaka chocolates, so it fixed my error by giving me another error. Because now there's words. Great. Another thing we like to do at Drama Tech is game day. And what is that? Do you walk around with a football, American football in class? No, you actually stand in a line and hold an electronic brick over your head. But is that fun? Of course it is. Because why not? And does it get us out of class? Yes, it also does. But is dramatic technique just an excuse for a class like chorus, except without the singing? No, that is not true at all. That's what most people get the wrong idea of. Here at Dramatic Techniques, we strive to be the best PowerPoint people that have ever lived. And we're also not the League of Legends Club, so that's an upside as well. So here at Drama Tech, we strive to be the best PowerPoint makers that ever lived and will ever live. We are the generation of PowerPointies, I think. I don't know what the noun of that would be. Someone that makes a PowerPoint. And does it help us? Actually, PowerPoint does help us. In French, well, first of all, it's not geometry, so it actually will help us in life. Unlike geometry. And in French, I got a 5 out of 4 on part of a PowerPoint that I made. So either my French teacher sucks at math, or I just did so well that it brought my inner Drama Tech out. Also, for me and for a few kids in this class, it's right after English, so what better way to celebrate getting out of Mr. Alex's class than going down to Drama Tech? Okay, another PowerPoint we did was the music project, in which someone decided that they want to share with us some country rap tunes. So it made me want to hangman myself, hangman style, I guess. Another PowerPoint we did was a location, and I decided to go to the Shooty McFace location of Friendship Gulag. That's not actually where it is, but I took a trip to Borderlands in the Friendship Gulag. Another project we did is the debate project, but I think I did alcohol or something. I don't know how it went, because I think I got drunk after school or something. So I forget. Another project we did after that was the, oh no, that was before, that was way before that. That was one of the first ones. It was a demonstration, and I decided to demonstrate faking an injury, in which I think I did pretty well. I also told everyone how to play soccer 2-in-1, really. Another project we did was the advertisement project, and I made up a company. Well, everyone thinks that I made it up, but actually it's a real company. It's called Sadistic Cannibalistic, and it sells human meat. In fact, this whole PowerPoint was just an advertisement for that. Buy it. It's human meat. Nobody doesn't like it.
S31 Dramatic Technique stopped by. Mr. Rogers' students are Nick Sebastian, Ocean Wu, Andy Selhorst, myself, Adam Thompson, Matthew Sweet, and Ethan Rao, the Furious 8. And so our first project was a demonstration which we learned how to tie a shoe, how to fake an injury, how to pass a baton, how to hit different pitches in baseball, how to shoot a basketball, and how to shoot a hockey puck, or a hockey stick. And then we learned our outlines, what to have on there, and he told us always to have a fact, a quote from a famous person, statistics, or a startling claim. And then we went to our next one, which was our favorite artist. Mine was Wiz Khalifa, 21-year-old rapper, and some of his top songs I like are Black and Yellow, Staying Out All Night, Work Hard, Play Hard, and When I'm Gone. Those are just some of my favorite songs I like to listen to when I get ready for games. And then our next was our sonnet, which we learned about William Shakespeare and how a lot of his great writings that he did. And the sonnet I picked was sonnet number 1 because it's the best sonnet because it was number 1. I really liked it, and I really just it drew my attention to it. And then our next was our joke telling project, and I thought this was probably the funniest project we had. The Adam's white girl jokes until Mr. Rogers editing a cricket sound in to the jokes that nobody understood. I just thought that was really funny. And then next was our lyric coordination, which I picked probably one of my favorite songs was "See You Again," written by Wiz Khalifa and Charlie Puth. It was showcased at the end of Fast and Furious 6 to tribute to Paul Walker. He died in a car accident, and just like the song. And then our favorite movie, which mine was yet again Fast and Furious 7. It was one of my favorite in the franchises. It was just a real action-packed movie, and it was really exciting, and it had a lot of twists into the movie that I really think they would have. And then our next was our haiku, which was mine. I did one about elder wrestling because it was starting wrestling season. I thought it was the right time to do it, and so it just got me excited for wrestling season, and I just thought. And then the next was our Good Samaritan one. Or was my group did Good Samaritan, which was myself as actor 1, Ethan, which was our narrator, and then Adam was actor number 2. We did it with stuffed animals. It's great. And then our next project was Who Am I? Then I did wrestler Logan Stieber. He's one of my role models because of how good of a wrestler he was. He was probably one of the best high school/college wrestlers in history. He won 4 national championships. And then after that, we did our favorite location spot for vacation. And mine was Panama City Beach. I just go there every year, and I just thought that it's a great place to go to. I always go there with my family, and it's just fun to go there. And then we did our dramatic reading, and I did Rudy, a scene with the janitor and Rudy. I just really thought it was a good. I just thought it was a good moment in the movie telling him that he should go back because he was doing good, what he was doing there. And then our next was the one where we did the one where we were selling something, and I did the Chill Zone, which kind of like Netflix, had different TV shows and stuff, and it was better than Netflix because it was for free. And then we did our argument, which I and Adam, or myself, I did the pros of school uniforms. And I just thought that school uniforms, or schools should have them because they just have, like, bullying goes down and a lot of other stuff like that. And then we watched The Great Debaters, which honestly, I didn't really think it would be that good of a movie when he said we were going to watch it in class, but then when we started watching it, I thought it was a really good movie and I was excited for it. Over break, when we were on break, I was excited to come back to school just to finish the movie, honestly. And then next we did our acting in class. We got to see all the great acting skills we all have in this class with, acting like we're driving a car, sitting on a train and stuff. We got to see all the creative ideas we all had to make it up. And then game day. the Dream Team, myself, Ethan, Matt, and Nick, versus the other team, Mr. Rogers.
I know. Say it really.
It requires knowledge to understand knowledge. The music is nothing if the audience is deaf. This tells us that we should always get our audience's attention first before we say anything important. One important way to do this is an attention getter, which Mr. Rogers taught us in dramatic technique class. The class only has 7 students, but that's because we are the only 7 out of the whole school who are eligible for this erudite class. Anyhow, the 7 of us consist of Adam Thompson, Austin Belcher, Matthew Sweet, Ethan Rao, Nick Sebastian, and Andy Selford. And then of course there's me. And as I've explained before in my biographical speech of my life, I was born on October 12, 2000, and I used to go to St. Lawrence. And there are other interesting facts about me as well, but I don't have time to go into detail again. But I did went into detail during my demonstration speech of how to tie a shoe. In that demonstration, I show you guys step by step that by tying your shoe the correct way, you can reduce the risk of breaking your neck. Of course, you guys probably forgot about it anyway, but you might have remembered my favorite musician group, the Imagine Dragons. I like their music because they pump me up and they get me ready to play and beat any kind of video games that come my way. You may be wondering why I didn't use one of their songs for my song project. Well, that's because the song by the Carpenters was a slow rhythmic song, which means it was easier for me to synchronize the lyrics with the words. It only took me like 5 minutes, like during class. But the movie Ted that I used for my movie project was in fact my favorite movie. And it still is. It's about a movie where this teddy bear comes to life in his funny adventure with John Bennett. Like, very funny. You guys should watch it. Speaking of funny, remember all those jokes I told you? Yeah, of course you did. No, you did. Anyway, that was like the easiest project I did the whole year. I like searched up some random jokes online and I said it. And another like similarly easy project was a haiku. But the only difficult thing is that I had to get my idea across in like 17 words. Like another similar activity we did like that, which is the group pantomime, we had to get our idea across in 0 words. We could only use our actions. And I know Mr. B looked like he's on some type of drug, but don't worry, he's on this healthy, non-polluting drug called Orgasmic Freeze. And he must see my advertisement, and because of my great persuasion technique, I got him to buy it. And I didn't let that persuasion technique go to waste. I used it again in the debate against Matthew, which I argued against the fact that we should raise our minimum driving age. That's just stupid. I don't know why you go with that idea, Matthew. That took a lot of memorization, but also so did the dramatic speech, where we search up these random speeches online and then give it out in class in a dramatic way. This project I'm doing right now also took a lot of memorization called the Kakasha, where there are 20 slides each with 20 seconds. But no matter how much I memorize, I could never be as good a debater as the debaters in the movie The Great Debater, where a bunch of people from Wiley College debate against other schools. I actually liked that movie because it felt like a class period out of school. Like you watch a movie in school. But so does Friday every week, game day, where we get our our teammates to guess these weird alien inscriptions on a bunch of yellow and blue cards. I never understand any of the words on them. Like, I still don't. So, you may be wondering why I did all this. Well, the reason I did this whole project is because Mr. Rogers assigned it, so I have to do it. And a watered down version of Mr. Rogers' famous quote would be, "Get yourself done."
Alright, so we obviously have a class of 7, These are all of us. And right there, Mr. Rogers saying Austin Belcher obviously is ugly. So he just needs to accept it. We all know it, right? Right?
Yeah.
So Adam, Ethan, Andy, Ocean, Nick, and Austin, and myself. We did our demonstration speech. I did how to shoot a basketball, and this is obviously the gear you need to look like a pro. So that's the gear I wear to every single one of our CYO games. Bring a basketball with me too. And then we had our speech to where we had to get an attention getter, so I started out with a quote. Where you put your attention is where you get your results. I feel that since we put all of our attention into our PowerPoints, we got our good results out. And then we did our favorite artist, which mine was Eminem. He's just, I don't know, he's that one good part in music that I like, and I don't like many artists that rap, but I do like Eminem. Then we did our sonnet. I did The Sweet Rose of Virtue. That sonnet just pulled me in with its name. Its name was just telling me like, oh, this is your sonnet, that this was made for you. And then we had our joke telling project, and this quote says, old people at weddings always tell me you're next. And so what I started doing was telling them at funerals, you're next. So when I found this quote, I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect for joke telling, because it's all a joke. And then we had our coordination project, and obviously if I would have had the music, this would have been perfectly coordinated. And so Drake obviously isn't that good, but then we had our favorite movie project. This movie, as soon as I saw it, pulled me into it. As soon as I saw the first like 10 minutes of the movie, I was just stuck with this being my favorite movie. The cars pulled me in because they were so exotic and never seen them before. Then we had the haiku, which I obviously didn't pull this off the internet. Coca-Cola brands Beacon Refreshment of Thirst with red swirls and curves. I totally did not, as I said before, pull that off the internet. And we had our parables, which I believe I did the Great Samaritan with Ocean. And yeah, they were all about Jesus. I forgot what the third one was. I guess because I didn't see a lot of it. And then we did Who Am I? My guy was Bill Russell. He is one of the top basketball players. He's won 6 MVP rings, and he played on the East team, I think 5 or 6 times. And then we did our vacation spot. Mine was the Bahamas. I had went there the previous year. It was amazing. Everybody was nice there, and since everybody was so nice, it gave us more of a chance to have a good time. And then we did our dramatic readings, so there's a lot of people sweating because it's dramatic. And when I did this, I was kind of scared because I didn't really know what to do for it. I didn't know if I was supposed to put emphasis on my words. It just completely threw me off. And then we did our advertisement. I changed the name from Lexus hoverboard to Lincoln hoverboard just because they both started with L. It made sense to me. So when I did this project, I had a lot of fun with it. And then I debated against Ocean, which there's always a teen driver coming at you. So I always thought that the driving age should be raised to 18, and most people don't think so. But here's Denzel Washington. I showed 2 pictures because some people didn't know who he was. He was the main character in The Great Debaters. This movie just pulled me in as well. It's not my favorite movie, but I was kind of excited to watch it, like Austin said when we came back from break. It was a good softener. And then we had the group pantomimes. I had Nick, Austin, and Mr. Rogers. And Our pantomimes were pretty good compared to everybody else's.
No.
Especially mine and Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
They were amazing.
Tell that for your joke project.
Oh!
And then we had game day, which, again, as Austin said, it was me, Ethan, Nick, Austin versus Mr. Rogers. Sometimes we switched Ethan for Ocean because, you know, Ocean was always better, but...
No.
No.
And that's our...
Alright, so this is Dramatic Techniques from room 134, where we practice our speeches and we remember the rule: do not say, "That's about it." Don't say that. And then, so our first project was just getting to know each other. It was simple. We were just 8 complete strangers, 7 now respectively. But we just got a paper, filled out our questions, and then asked who we were. Our next project was give a demonstration. So some people did how to tie a shoe, how to fake an injury, how to hit baseballs. The next one was our attention getter. And this one was important for our actual speeches because, of course, you need an attention getter so people actually listen. The next one was our favorite song. Some people did rock, some people did pop, and some people did rap. I did Black and Yellow by Wiz Khalifa. So we did our sonnets by this guy, William Shakespeare, and we had to choose from all his different sonnets. There was a ton of them. And you would choose them, and then you would have to like decipher it down. And next was joke telling. And this one, we just picked 3 jokes, 2 short, 1 long, and we give it to the class and see what your sense of humor was. Next one was song lyric coordination. And this one was just getting our lyrics to match what the guy was actually saying. So next was our movie project. This one was fun for me, but some people did The Christmas Story, Zombieland, or Ted, and be funny. Next was our haiku, and it would go 757. But unlike normal haikus, which would be nature or animals, ours were just about whatever you wanted. So I did smoke meat. Next was our, what's it called? Parables. And we would just use stuff in the classroom or stuff that we got from home, like stuffed animals, and we'd just make up our own story of the Good Samaritan, or whatever the other one was. Next was Who Am I? Some people thought they would be funny and do John Cena. Others of us were serious and did somebody like Beanie Wells. Next was our vacation spot. Some people did imaginary places. Others did beaches. I did the practical place, Alaska.
No.
I love being in Alaska.
Alaska's amazing. Next was our dramatic reading. So in this one, we had to make sure that there was fluctuations in our voice and that each thing was perfectly timed.
You know big words.
I do.
You used erudite.
So next was our advertisement, and in this one we learned to give off desirable people in our ads or use bright colors to entice people while also saying what you have to say. So next was our debates, and in this one you need... Go back?
I don't know. Don't want to go all the way back.
But this was a great debaters, and we needed this for our debates. So we watched this, and this was really inspirational for me. But this is our pantomimes. And our pantomimes were just simply acting out what we got on a card. And then you would read it, and then you'd have to go over there and just practice it and then act it out. Lastly is game day. Game day was the most fun. And we do stuff like gestures where you'd have to act it out before the cards fall, or you'd get yellow and blue cards and try to guess what's on the card. But But now, as dramatic techniques comes to a close, we say goodbye to that and hello to theater.
That's about it.